What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here with your best bets for Super Bowl 57, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles. My pick versus the spread, my pick for the total. The big game is here. Before I break it down, before I give you my picks, make sure that you do check out Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy has an incredible big game special going on right now. And I know I'll be playing over at Underdog Fantasy with this big game special because they're giving you a free square to play on their Pick'em Parlay special. Jalen Hurts, all he has to do is go over half a yard. Half a yard. That's all he has to do. So now is the time to sign up if you haven't already to Underdog Fantasy. They will double your first deposit, as always, up to $100 when you use my promo code BLV. Let them know that I sent you by using that promo code BLV. And check out the big game Pick'em Parlay special. Again, Jalen Hurts only has to go over half a yard. I think he'll get it done. Now that you've signed up to Underdog Fantasy, allow me to give you my best bets versus the spread and for the total for Super Bowl 57. My best bet, my favorite pick for Super Bowl 57 is the Philadelphia Eagles -1.5 and to win the Super Bowl, period. I don't have to get fancy. I'm not going to give you a prop pick, although I will be breaking down props later in the week, so make sure to check that video out. My favorite pick, my favorite bet is the Eagles to win the game. The Eagles -1.5. The Philadelphia Eagles have proven to be the most dominant team in the NFL this season, and they have more ways to win this matchup than the Chiefs do. If the Chiefs want to win this game, they have to get into a shootout, because I do not see this defense of the Chiefs slowing down the Eagles consistently enough, and that's where this game will begin for the Eagles. Their ability at the offensive line to move people in the run game. We saw them play the best defense in the NFL and methodically wear down that defense with Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. The fastest defense in the NFL, the top unit in the league. They wore them out. And I understand that the quarterback position for the 49ers did not allow them to compete. I get that. But that's also why the Eagles didn't just stomp on them, because they didn't need to. They played it conservatively, and that was impressive. They were still moving the ball 3 yards here, 4 yards there, running the ball right down their throat. And they'll be able to do that to Kansas City. It's like people forget they just played the best defense in the NFL and scored 30-plus points. And I expect them to score 27 to 38 points in this game. I do. I expect the Eagles to be able to run the ball on early downs, set themselves up for a positive game script, be able to utilize their RPOs and their play action as they wish. I think it's going to be difficult for the Chiefs defensively to create any sort of pressure with a four-man rush because this offensive line is so dominant. They're physical, they're big, they're quick, they can move in space. The Chiefs don't have the speed the Niners have. They won't be able to defend Jalen Hurts horizontally the way the Niners could. I don't see them really being able to create enough penetration on the interior to cause enough disruption versus Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell. At the running back position, they might cause the odd stop. I mean, give Chris Jones some respect and those guys up front, but they're not nearly the pass rushing team or the run stopping team that the Niners are. The Chiefs have struggled with the run all year long. And in DVOA standards, they're one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. And they've faced nothing like the Eagles all year long from that standpoint. I think that's where everything begins. And don't get it twisted, the Chiefs know this. Like, they're not a dumb coaching staff. So they're going to go into this game. They're going to be running bear fronts. They're going to be doing everything they can, getting big people on the field to try to set the edge, to try to force the Eagles to throw the football. But that's the problem. I don't see the Kansas City Chiefs being able to really respectfully defend either. Because A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert are clear mismatches for this Chiefs secondary. A young secondary that's been playing very well. But the reason they were able to slow down and beat the Bengals is because the offensive line couldn't protect. That's not the case with Philadelphia. These receivers are explosive. They've got speed. They can beat you down the field. Devontae Smith, I could see him having a big game as they focus their attention towards A.J. Brown. Dallas Goedert will get his as well. And Jalen Hurts, as long as he can throw the ball consistently and accurately enough, which I do, one of my worries is the shoulder a little bit. But I think their ability to run the ball, their ability to be a team and support Jalen Hurts, and then allow him to throw those easy passes. He'll make a few plays with his legs as well to extend plays, to not make a mistake. And then the other thing with the Eagles offensively that's so tricky to defend is it's 3rd down and 6. You think you got them stopped. They run the ball for 5 yards, and they go for it on 4th and 1, and they got their automatic conversion with their quarterback sneak play. This is a team that's going to be aggressive offensively right from the beginning. They're going to try to jump on the Chiefs. They're going to try to go up early, and they're going to possess the football. They're going to keep Mahomes on the sidelines. This is the team that was invented, created, made in a way, when you really look at them, to beat a team like Kansas City. They run the ball. They've got enough explosives in the passing game. They can possess the football. They can keep Mahomes on the sidelines. They can win at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. Defensively now, after Jalen Hurts is running it, Jalen Hurts is throwing it, they're running Miles Sanders. All that stuff's going on that side of the ball, and the Chiefs are struggling with it, and they're staying on the field, and they're not able to force stops on 3rd down because they're not getting them in negative situations like 3rd and 10 and 3rd and 12. I just don't see that happening because the Eagles are too effective at running the ball, and I don't see the Chiefs stopping them. On the other side, the Eagles got a phenomenal pass rush, a pass rush unlike any that the Chiefs have seen all year. And that is the way that you affect Mahomes. That's the way that you affect this offense, is you get a pass rush. And this Eagles D-line is one of the deepest I've ever seen in my life as a football fan. Hassan Reddick may be able to expose Andrew Wiley, who's not exactly the greatest right tackle in the world. Orlando Brown on the other side has had some issues. Can he block Josh Sweat? Can he block Brandon Graham? Going to be issues there. Now, the interior of the Chiefs O-line is pretty good, but you got to deal with Javon Hargrave. You got to deal with the waves of players they have with Fletcher Cox and Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph and Jordan Davis. There's so many guys you got to deal with. And the Eagles have the corners. Darius Slay, James Bradbury to match up with these receivers who are not really scaring anybody, plus they're hurt. So Travis Kelce may get a bit of his, but with the corners being better than these receivers, you can focus more attention on a guy like Travis Kelce if you're the Eagles. I don't really see the Chiefs being able to run the ball all that effectively on the Eagles. I expect the Eagles to lean more into stopping the pass. Maybe they concede the run a bit more, but I just feel like the Eagles are so good up front that I don't see a lot of these runs going for truly explosive gains. If the Eagles do get the lead like they typically do, I think that will just force the Chiefs to throwing the ball more, and that forces these offensive linemen to have more one-on-one matchups and more opportunities for pressure and for sacks and for turnovers and for stops if you're an Eagles fan. I think that the Chiefs can move the ball with a quick passing game, but there's going to come times in this game where the Eagles are going to get sacks. The Eagles are going to force negative plays. The Eagles are going to win the matchups on the outside due to their cornerbacks. Honestly, it's just not a really crazy handicap. I like the Eagles because I feel like they're the deeper team. I feel like they dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. I think they get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. They create enough stops on that side of the football. They make enough explosive plays on offense. They dictate the game through time of possession offensively, through how they're able to run the football. And that's ultimately how they're going to win this game. They'll win the line of scrimmage, they'll win the time of possession, and they'll win the game. So give me the Eagles minus the 1.5 in this game. Another way to play this game and the spread would be to bet the Eagles in the first half minus a 0.5 point. The reason I say this is because if you're on the Eagles, which I am, I think it's very likely that the Eagles start fast if they win the game. If the Eagles start fast and the Eagles are leading at halftime, I believe that they'll cover the spread. If the Eagles are trailing early, that is where they could get into danger because they do not want to be the team that's dropping back to throw the football all that much. And that also keeps their defense on their toes, on edge, because they're not truly able to just tee off at the quarterback and rush the passer. So if the Eagles start fast, which I expect them to, which is why I'm backing them, I would bet the half and I'd also bet the game because I think both of those things correlate towards a Philadelphia victory. When it comes to the total and when it comes to playing the rest of this game from a spread total perspective, I'm not going to lie. I don't love the total either way. I have conflicting thoughts about the over and the under. All week I have leaned towards the over because I do respect Mahomes and Andy Reid and 2 weeks of preparation, enough for them to find ways to throw the football, to get the ball out quick, to make plays. But I could also see the Eagles and the Chiefs both having to methodically move the ball down the field, which creates potentially an under due to how much time is being taken up on these drives. I could see that as well. I could also see the Eagles' defense really coming to play in this game. And I could see Jalen Hurts not being able to throw all over the Chiefs. I could see that as well in a negative situation for Philadelphia. So I could see an under. I'm not really going to give this out as a pick. But if I were to give a total pick out, I'm going to give you a team total. And that's going to be over 26 and a half for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'd look for this to go down maybe a little bit. If it gets to 50 and a half, try to lay the 26 with the Eagles. I do think the Eagles are the more likely team to get over their team total, but I don't trust the overall total for the game. I could see the Eagles winning 27, 28, 30 to 20, 17. I could see something like that. I could also see it going over, like I said, like 31-24. But I trust the Eagles to be able to score over 26 points versus this Chiefs defense just because of how versatile their attack is and how balanced they are. And I feel they will keep their foot on the gas. They will go for it when necessary, and they'll push the pace in the game. So I like the Eagles over 26 as my total pick for this game. So those are my best bets for the spread and the total for Super Bowl 57. Guys, don't forget to check out Underdog Fantasy. I can't wait to play all the pick'em parlays over there this week, and I will be breaking down all of my favorite prop picks for Super Bowl 57 in a separate video, a separate best bets video. If you want a more comprehensive, deeper breakdown of Super Bowl 57 for both sides of the football, make sure to check out my preview with AC and Dilly Vanilli for that complete Super Bowl 57 breakdown for more information on the big game. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you enjoyed, don't forget to Gronk spike the like button and subscribe for more. It's Mitch. Peace.